Hi guys, welcome back to Mr. Channel. Thanks for stopping by and clicking on the video. Today we're going to do another chapter out of the book called The Children of Odin. This is the very beginning of part 2 of that book. The title to part 2 of the book is called Odin the Wanderer. And the chapter we're going to read today is called Odin Goes to Mimir's Well, His Sacrifice for Wisdom. Now I just want to say super quick that I think is very interesting that we're getting to this place because I had a few videos about the mystery schools in Adapa that really talked about water and knowledge and all of that stuff. So let's just read it. And so Odin, no longer riding on Sleipnir, his 8-legged steed, no longer wearing his golden armor and his eagle helmet, and without even a spear in his hand, traveled through Midgard, the world of men, and made his way to Jotunheim, the realm of the giants. No longer was he called Odin Allfather, but Vegtam, the Wanderer. He wore a cloak of dark blue and he carried a traveler's staff in his hands. And now, as he went toward Mimir's well, which was near to Jotunheim, he came upon a giant riding on a great stag. Odin seemed a man to men and a giant to giants. He went beside the giant on the great stag, and the two talked together. "Who art thou, O brother?" Odin said to the giant. "I am Vafthrudner, the wisest of the giants," said the one who was riding on the stag. Odin knew him then. Vafthrudner was indeed the wisest of the giants, and many went to strive to gain wisdom from him. But those that went to him had to answer the riddles that Vafthrudner asked, and if they failed to answer, the giant took off their heads. "I am Vegtam, the Wanderer," said Odin, "and I know who thou art, O Vafthrudner. I would strive to learn something from thee." The giant laughed, showing his teeth. "Oh ho," he said, "I'm ready for a game with thee. Dost thou know the stakes? My head to thee if I cannot answer any questions thou wilt ask. And if you cannot answer any questions I may ask, then thy head goes to me." "Ho ho, let us begin." "I am ready," said Odin. "Then tell me," said Vafthrudner. "Tell me the name of the river that divides Asgard from Jotunheim." "Ifling is the name of that river," said Odin. "Ifling, that is dead, cold, yet never frozen." "Thou hast answered rightly, O Wanderer," said the giant, "but thou still hast to answer other questions. What are the names of the horses that day and night drive across the sky?" "Skinfax and Hrimfax," said Odin. Vafthrudner was startled to hear one say the names that were known only to the gods and to the wisest of the giants. There was only one question now that he might ask before it came to the stranger's turn to ask him questions. "Tell me," said Vafthrudner, "what is the name of the plain on which the last battle will be fought?" "The plain of Vigard," said Odin, "the plain that has 100 miles long and 100 miles across." It was now Odin's turn to ask Vafthrudner questions. What will be the last words that Odin will whisper into the ear of Baldur, his dear son? He asked. Very startled was the giant Vafthrudner at that question. He sprang to the ground and he looked at the stranger keenly. "Only Odin knows what his last words to Baldur will be," he said, "and only Odin would ask that question. Thou art Odin, a wanderer, and thy question I cannot answer." Then said Odin, "If thou wouldst keep thy head, answer me this. What price will Mimir ask for a draught from the well of wisdom that he guards?" "He will ask thy right eye as a price, O Odin," said Vafthrudner. "He will ask no less a price than that?" asked Odin. "He will ask no less a price. Many have come to him for a draught from the well of wisdom, but none yet has given the price Mimir asks. I have answered thy question, O Odin. Now give up thy claim to my head and let me go on my way." "I give up my claim to thy head," said Odin. Then Vafthrudner, the wisest of the giants, went on his way riding on his great stag. It was a terrible price that Mimir would ask for a draught from the well of wisdom. And very troubled was Odin Allfather when it was revealed to him. His right eye? For all time to be without the sight of his right eye? Almost he would have turned back to Asgard, giving up his quest for wisdom. He went on, turning neither to Asgard nor to Mimir's well. And when he went toward the south, he saw Muspelheim, where stood Surtur, the flaming sword, a terrible figure, who would one day join the giants in their war against the gods. And then he turned to the north, and he heard the roaring of the cauldron Vagelmer as it poured itself out of Niflheim, the place of darkness and dread. And Odin knew that the world must not be left between Surtur, who would destroy it with fire, and Niflheim, that would gather it back to darkness and nothingness. He, the eldest of the gods, would have to win the wisdom that would help save the world. And so, With his face stern in front of his loss and pain, Odin, All-Father, turned and went toward Mimir's well. It was under the great root of Yggdrasil, the root that grew out of Jotunheim, and there sat Mimir, the guardian of the well of wisdom, with his deep eyes bent upon the water. And Mimir, who had drunk every day from the well of wisdom, he knew who stood before him. "Hail, Odin, eldest of the gods," he said. Then Odin made reference to Mimir, the wisest of the world's beings. "I would drink from your well, Mimir," he said. "There is a price to be paid. All who have come here to drink have shrunk from paying that price. Will you, eldest of the gods, pay it?" "I will not shrink from the price that has to be paid, Mimir," said Odin All-Father. "Then drink," said Mimir. He filled up a great horn with water from the well, and he gave it to Odin. Odin took the horn in both hands and drank and drank. And as he drank, all the future became clear to him. He saw all the sorrows and troubles that would fall upon men and gods. But he saw too why the sorrows and the troubles had to fall. And he saw how they might be born, so that gods and men, by being noble in the days of sorrow and trouble, would leave in the world a force that one day, a day that was far off indeed, would destroy the evil that brought terror and sorrow and despair into the world. Then, when he had drunk out of the great horn that Mimir had given him, he put his hand to his face and he plucked out his right eye. Terrible was the pain that Odin All-Father endured. But he made no groan nor moan. He bowed his head and he put his cloak before his face as Mimir took the eye and let it sink deep, deep into the water of the well of wisdom. And there the eye of Odin stayed, shining up from the water, a sign to all that came to that place of the price that the Father of the gods had paid for his wisdom. All right, that's all I got for today. You guys have yourselves a very great day.